Tonight, a Wiregrass community once again at odds with the state of Alabama, waiting on some sort of fix to their flooding nightmare.
The Shiloh community says they've been left in the dark about a project to mitigate the issue, and they're left to watch their homes crumble apart. WDHN's Robert Smith is in Shiloh with the story, all new at 6.
After 6 months and counting, the Shiloh community feels like the agreement between the state and federal levels have been breached after they have not received an update on implementation projects. Shiloh residents were excited and anxious that a fix was near after the state DOT and Federal Highway Administration reached a binding agreement for a flooding mitigation project in October of last year, but they say they haven't heard or seen anything from the state in 6 months, as they are supposed to be receiving updates.
Now it's becoming frustrating because the people are dealing with false hope now, false promises, and they're saying, now, what do you do when they've told you they're going to be out here doing this and doing that? They're going to be contacting everybody. They didn't uphold their word.
The VRA states that beginning 180 days after signing the agreement and every 180 days thereafter, AlDOT will submit a progress report detailing the implementation of the state's required actions of the agreement. Those actions are to either create a drainage ditch south of the community, regrading a detention basin and creating a way water can go in expanded drainage ditches, or adding a basin in the median. However, residents say the state and the Federal Highway Administration haven't addressed the 4 complaints and have left them in the dark about the state's plans so far.
So it's 180 days in, and people still haven't heard from AlDOT. They just can't come up and say, hey, we're just going to go with this first plan. And the people don't know what's going on in the community. That's why I urge them to do a community meeting. AlDOT and FHWA come together with the community and have a meeting and explain to the residents here what's going to happen.
Williams says for the time being, ultimately over the last 7 years and now almost 7 months since the agreement, they have lost hope and have grown tired of worrying and paying out of their pockets as taxpayers to mitigate running water from the highway they did not create. Residents say they have now turned up the pressure on the state and federal agencies.
The only thing they're saying is they are trying to fulfill the 180 days. Well, we know that when you say I'm trying, that does not mean you're really dealing with it. So we've got legal involved now. There were people down the street. A daycare was going through some stuff like what we're going through. They didn't have to go 7 years.
Williams says with the new legal team involved, he hopes this will threaten the state to speed up the process and get to work on the implementation projects this year. In Elba, Robert Smith, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.